See, lot of it is driven by personal initiative. Okay, let's not take that fact away, because everything as an employee, we expect the employer to actually spoon feed you, groom you in your career. So there is a lot of initiative which people miss out, and I think that is something which somebody coming into the career have to realize, that they are responsible for their own career. So don't expect somebody to handhold you for the next 40 years of your career. Take responsibility for your career and work in a company. When you work in a company, ensure that you're doing what you can. You have to really own the company in your mind. It's not that physical the ownership of shares or anything like that. That will come later. So one is a sense of ownership to your job, to your business, or to your that the task you do. So the sense of ownership is very important. So once you start getting into that zone, so you'll have to see as a if you look at your career, if you're really somebody who wants to grow in your career, do jobs of increasing responsibility and so on, and also evaluate whether your company has got that kind of canvas to offer you opportunity. So it is today, you can be in one company, but you can do different jobs, or it's you to take it as a project today, because it's 30 years, 40 years doing the same job, having the same routine. Those days are gone, right? We've seen people going to the factory in the same bus, coming back in the same bus in the evening, 5:30. So that era is over. So today, if you take a career, you can still spend 30 years, 40 years in a company. You can spend your lifetime in a company, provided that the company organization is growing. You also have an opportunity to grow along with the organization, and you have an opportunity to do different. It could be different. The line of business could be different, where you get an opportunity in different line, or it could be a different geography, or you can look. So there are multiple opportunities uh, you can create in the same organization without not necessarily hopping jobs. So one has to look at one's career with that lens, to say that, am I learning something? Is that how am I improving as a professional? Every day I am on the job. Is the organization facilitating my learning? So that is very important. So some organizations don't, some organizations do. So ultimately, that will decide whether how much time you end up spending in a company.
Right.
So that is my take. So there is no one answer to your question, Kareem. So it is very, but at the same time, you don't want, people thinking that I need to do a new job every year or every 6 months. That's not possible, right? So you need to have some sort of, people do tend to get bored in what they do very soon. And they say, I have nothing left to achieve in this company. A lot of people come to us saying that that is why they want to change. And that would be, the nothing left to achieve would be in span of 18 months, 12 months, 18 months. So we often worry, what is wrong, So,
yeah, I run into those conversations as well. People, kids who are like 22, 23, maybe, talking about, there's no future in this work or whatever for me, right? And it calls into question what we are doing at our, at our jobs, really. So, Gaurav, the mindset shift has been so stark, right? I wrote this some time back that my father decided to quit the job, right? And he took 10 years to do it. So he waited 10 years until he could actually do it, right? And maybe it would have been shorter for me, but then, today people have a very different mindset in terms of what they expect out of a job itself. And it's also because, I guess, we are getting more prosperous. We have more options, opportunities at this point of time, right?
And also one point, Kari, which we actually often don't give so much importance, is today's generation. Their parents have done what they have done, and actually they put them in a secure place. So your father's generation had no choice but to actually stick to a job, stick to a career, so that he can ensure that their children are well brought up, and so on and so forth. So today there is no economic pressure for you to actually bring food to the table every month, in a lot of cases. So that is what gives you the freedom of choice. Say you can just, I've seen actually kids dropping out of engineering after 2 years, saying that they want to pursue a career in music. I would have got slaughtered even if I had thought on those lines, say some 20 years ago. So that was not possible. So that gives you the freedom of choice,
Right.
and somebody else worked hard, and today you have freedom of choice for the current generation. I think that also is the other factor which we need to